what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We are coming at you with a super spicy episode 340, and we're recording on August 18th, 2025. I am Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
As your quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the nation. Guys, summer is almost over already. It's crazy how quickly this has gone. It's insane.
We're on episode 340. That means we're almost 7 years into the fucking podcast. Did you know?
We already are. We just like missed a bunch, I think, in the last year. normally the season shifts around now, I believe.
It is.
We're a little behind. Whatever. Who cares? This week in the after hours after the show, we are going to react to the nation submitted hot takes.
Oh,
wow. It's going to be kind of fun, going to be spicy. Warren has some hot takes lined up. We're going to react to them, and we're going to tell you at the end if we agree or disagree, which should be a lot of fun. So stick around for that. All right, big new releases. There are 3 songs that won, 5 songs got close. So the 3 that won are Identities. It's technically a unit debut, but let's just call it a debut with BOYtude. We have Young Posse Freestyle, and then we have Big Hit's new boy group CORTIS. They debuted with What You Want. So those are the 3 songs we are talking about this week. The ones that almost made it was Ad Heart's debut with Plot Twist, and then Joy from Red Velvet released Love Splash, but they did not make the cut. But let's start at the top. Identity debut with BOYtude. They are not from Starship. They are from Madhouse. I'm gonna fix this on the fly. The other 2 songs that came out with this one are Storm and You Never Met, but BOYtude won the super title track poll thing they had with their fans.
Right.
So this is like the song.
okay.
So there's 8 dudes in this. They are Unever Met. That's the name of this subunit. It's the first subunit.
You never met.
You know what, Anita? You are completely correct.
I'm just reading.
Yeah, good job. Anita knows how to read. I can't. We have You Never Met, the first subunit of the upcoming boy group Identity. They made their debut last week, technically, August 11th, with the mini album, You Never Met. The group consists of members divided into 3 rotational subunits consisting of 8 members each. You Never Met, Yes We Are, and It's Not Over. Okay, they throw in these random ass 8s in this bullshit, and I'm trying to get through it. So this is the first subunit. There's 8 dudes in this. Jihoon, we have Dohoon, Taein, Juno, Heejun, Jaeyoung, and Hwanhee. So these are the 8 dudes in this one.
Okay. All right.
It's very similar to the whole thing we did with Triple S, where there were a lot of units, and when you build Exodia together, you build the Megazord. We have 24 people in total, so they have 2 groups with a total of 48 people coming, guys.
That I don't know how they manage that.
No, it's 24 people total. I'm not sure if it makes it that much better.
Well, I mean, their company has a boy group and a girl group combined, got
With
48 people.
Identity. Yeah,
it's wild, dude. It's wild.
They should rebrand it to like AKB Modhouse 48. Sorry, go back to the
So going back to BOYtude, Warren, how would you kind of describe this track? What kind of song do you think this presentation is for this one?
Pop rap, pop hip hop, trap music. They threw in a little bit of feature bass, I think. I can dissect that a little more when you get to the discussion, but Joe, like this? BOYtude?
It was okay.
I listened. So before we were gonna cover this group, I listened to the other 2 tracks. So I listened to all 3, right?
Okay.
This was not my favorite.
You would not have voted for BOYtude for the super title track, Anita?
If I could only pick one, it would not have been this one.
Oh shit! Which one would it have been?
I liked Storm. I don't know if you guys got to hear it, but Storm was a little. I think Storm is the most, I would say, boy group sound. Right? Like it feels K-pop ish. This I think is more like hip hop bass, trap bass, and then You Never Met feels more like house, like more chill.
Here's the thing. To
me, I think Storm was my favorite, but yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm looking at the results that they released. It looks like
for the
Storm, right? Yeah, for the they're calling it Gravity. That's the fan activity where you get to interact and take part in the production one way or the other. the poll results that they released, 25% voted for Storm, 30.7% voted for You Never Met, and then you had 44.3% that voted for BOYtude. So
that's a big percent.
Yeah, you are in the vocal minority, Anita. I don't know what to tell you.
I wonder.
75% of people think Storm is ass, and I don't know.
Dang. Well, I have thoughts about like between idntt's debut and then CORTIS debut, which I guess we can talk about that once we cover both. But I have thoughts about where maybe the boy group meta is going, or like what they're trying to do with like concept wise, sound wise. But
let's get to that in a second, because like going back to how this sounds, right? This song in isolation, I thought it was really interesting because this is I associate this sound with like late 2010s K-hip hop a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Anita and I are like very familiar with this aesthetic of sound. Like we were in college together when this was really popular. In my head, I'm thinking Fancy Child, I'm thinking Geary Boy, I'm thinking DPR Live, I'm thinking like Bunzi by Yang Hongwon off of High School Rapper. Like these kind of songs that had a bit of a mid-tempo trap rhythm thrown in with like a future bass, thin sound, giving it this nice. It has a nice funky rhythm, almost like a funky groove. Yeah,
it has a nice bounce. It has a decent bounce.
Right. It's very bouncy. It was interesting because they had a bit of a drill change up in the verse, which I thought I don't think it really worked, nor was it particularly necessary. But I mean, it is what it is. But in the realm of K-pop, in the field that is K-pop, maybe it's because of the chorus particularly, but I was getting a lot of the vibes I would get from NCT title tracks.
Yeah.
But some of the more earlier NCT stuff, like Cherry Bomb, for example, where it felt like there was a bit of a more chanty, organized chorus where everybody da 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 da, that kind of a chorus where it's like it's upbeat, it's a little boyish, it's a little chanty. Energy is there. It's a little angsty, but like in a bit of an organized manner, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Is it just me, or how do you guys feel?
I mean, I guess I didn't quite. I was not reminded of NCT, but I kind of see what you mean by it, because it does have a like that 2010s, late 2010s, I guess, sound that I think a lot of boy groups were also exploring. I was gonna say, I think for this particular track, I will say that even though it wasn't my favorite of the three, I thought this one did a good job of balancing some of the sing rap sections with the vocal sections. Like I thought when the vocal sections came in, it sounded really good. Like maybe it's the contrast, but
I agree with this. Yes.
Same.
Right?
Same.
Yeah, it made me like kind of figure out like, who are these singers for these sections, because they sound really good. And I don't know if it was just how they were put in the track, like where they decided to put those sections to make it more balanced. So I liked that part. So I think they pulled that off. And yeah, I think overall though, this particular song and the music video as well, but I think in general, it reminds me a lot of the Triple S first unit, right? Because when they had that, it was very much trying to be approachable in the concepting, the visuals, music-wise as well, like nothing too crazy, kind of catchy. So I feel like there's a bit of mirroring here where they want to kind of, I don't know, have similar vibes between the two. Which I think works.
I think people are noticing that this is like the new boy group meta between this group, CORTIS, To Us, Boy Next Door. I have big jeans and a crop tee, and we're showing up in a vinyl record shop. Like, look at us. Like, we're just like you guys. Like, I definitely feel like that's like the current boy group meta. Is it blending in with each other a little bit? Like,
a tiny bit.
Like, maybe other than To Us, who have been like very school uniform focused.
True, yeah.
So now we get into the section of okay, people are trying to pull off similar aesthetics. Who does them better? For Identity, what was noticeable for me, like Anita, was like the vocal section, the rap section was very natural. It flowed really well. I'm not particularly familiar with everybody's names yet. I did appreciate that they had names in the subtitles for the video. Hwanhee in particular stood out to me a little bit. He was the kickoff of the second verse. He reminded me of when Crush raps a little bit, where he had this nice, very simple vocal tone, and it really worked. There's nothing crazy. It's not over the top, and I feel like that's the right level of exaggerated energy you want for this song, which is my way of saying no, you don't want any level of exaggerated energy for this song at all. You want something laid back a little bit, something that feels real, something that feels authentic. And I feel like that kid in particular did a good job of pulling that off, I think.
Hey, going back to your initial thing you said there, number one, names in the subtitle? Come on, people, let's keep doing that. I always thought we should get one of two things. I always thought what we have, names in the subtitles make sense. But I thought there should be something on YouTube, like an overlay mode where they could overlay, like, so they could have a name on the screen, who's on the screen, you know? Something like that. I always thought maybe there should be such a thing like that, you know? Because when you're getting invested in these new groups, like, I remember when I was trying to figure out who was in Twice for the first time, it was a struggle and a half, dude. I was so confused. And going even further back, I remember the first time I was trying to figure out who's in Sonyoshide, and I knew who Tiffany was. I couldn't figure out the rest of these girls, dude, for like a week. I was hella confused. Back in like 2008 with shitty internet. Could barely figure out who was in that group. But hey, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the sound, but to be fair, similar to the original Triple S, that what was the first unit? AAA, I believe, right? Was the first one? Yeah. I'm intrigued with what's gonna happen with them. I'm very intrigued because I think there's a lot here. Do you guys like essentially male chanty chorus, right? It's like a chant essentially.
Yeah.
Do we like that? Are we fine with that?
I vote yes.
Sometimes. I don't mind it here. I think here was.
I think it worked here.
Okay,
I think it worked.
Yeah, here it works. I'm not gonna say it works for every song, like but like
my feeling is the smartest decision they made on the production side was when we got to where the chorus should have been the second time, it didn't go straight into the chant. Kind of got a little lyrical all of a sudden, and then we went into it. I think that was just the smartest decision made on the song, because if we just went rapping, sing a little, chant, rap, sing a little, chant back to back, I think I would have been like, this shit's hella repetitive, you know? But the fact that they broke it up, I think, was very smart of them.
There was that nice little dance break where there should have been a chorus, and I agree. I feel like even without the video and even without looking at the choreo during it, I felt like while listening to the song, it made a lot of sense. Clearly, they are, this entire genre of sounds, like all of us in K-pop are trying to figure out how we can make songs under 3 minutes without, having it be complete ass. And I feel like for me particularly, it worked because then we shortened the amount of time we get from the second arc of the song to the third arc of the song. Second arc being the second verse and the second chorus, and third arc being like the dance break bridge into the final chorus. Here we kind of shortened that a little bit. We go directly from the second verse, boom, to the dance break / bridge into the last run of the chorus. So we only get 2 runs of the chorus, but it doesn't feel too short because it flows really well.
I agree.
That's true.
Is this the most exciting track ever that I'm going to be like, this is my favorite new boy group? No. But at the same time, do I think we got something here and I trust Modhouse to cook with this? Yes. That's my ending impression of this. Right? Yeah. I'm be like, okay. I trust what they're doing with Triple S. I can see what they're starting to do here with this identity group. So I'm intrigued, which is, in this day and age, I don't think anyone's just going to hit a home run right off the bat. So I think this is a good place to start.
It feels like I got a nice plate of 12-piece sushi. Like, none of that fucking spicy mayo shit. Just like...
No, you got 8-piece sushi.
Okay, sure, 8-piece sushi. and like, they're like pre-seasoned so that you can't dip the soy sauce.
Yep.
And it's like,
it's catered to you, you know?
Right.
Okay.
It felt very balanced in a really nice way. And I really like that part of the song.
Can't complain.
Yeah, they're like, you know, here's the meal. We've pre-seasoned it. This is how the chef wanted you to enjoy it, you know? And this is what we got.
Yeah,
you know, that's where we are.
Fresh caught salmon from I don't fucking know.
Hokkaido. Just say Hokkaido. You sound smart when you add things to Hokkaido, you know? Okay.
This is from Hokkaido.
All right, well, I think we go pivot. Let's go on. We got Young Posse, Freestyle. They are from Beats via DSP. Their last 3 Cream music videos were Cold. That was a crazy music video. Ate That and XXL. We are here with Freestyle, which, you know, the music video runtime is 2:27. But it didn't feel that short to me. I don't like that's the double-edged short because it is still extremely short. But I thought it didn't feel too terribly short. So that was my initial impression of the runtime. Are we still in the Young Posse? Are they still these braggadocious young kids doing their thing? Are we still in? Is the novelty still there?
Oh, okay. Let me give a little bit of context, because this is supposedly a new chapter for these folks.
Yep.
Oh, right.
We have what was officially titled the Food Trilogy between...
Okay, that makes sense.
Macaroni cheese.
Right. We had Macaroni Cheese, XXL, and then Ate That. They officially named it the Food Trilogy, and Cold was apparently a special album is what they called it, and this is their 4th EP release. EP titled single Growing Pain Part 1 free. Which makes me think, okay, we're probably going to get 2 or more of these. 3rd is probably going to be a full-length album, given they've been around for a while now. So it feels like direction-wise, we're still doing rap music, we're still doing hip-hop inspired music, but we're shifting the focus just a tiny bit. That was my takeaway with this track. I don't know if you guys felt that at all, but...
Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. I think... Well, okay. Context to that as well, because I was looking at some of their it's not really pre-release stuff, but it's like stuff leading up to this comeback, and they had what do I call it? They had like a mashup of previous like old school like hip hop hits that they selected. I think they called it like a playlist. And they released like covers, like very short covers of I don't know how many songs. It might have been like around 6 songs. So it's very short, and they did like music videos to it as well, or like music video clips. And it's all compiled in one video. But what I got was that, okay, so we're still committing to the sound, but it almost feels a little more serious in a way. I mean, it's not like dead serious, as you can see from the music video of this, but it feels, I agree, I feel like there is a little bit of a shift where I think they want to continue with the sound, but not as like funny with the music video or with like lyrics. I don't know. I thought I see what you mean about the shift.
Right? It feels like, I don't know if people are going to get this analogy. It feels like we moved on from Cartoon Network to Toonami a little bit.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sound-wise, let's talk about the sound real quick. Because we're still very much squarely in the hip-hop sound. We've had Young Posse do various types of hip hop music in the past. They've done slower trap music. They've done rage, Jersey. This one leans into like the mid school, the hardcore hip hop sound a little further. I'm talking about like fucking Beastie Boys, like late 80s stuff, but also like another. This is also a sound that's been having a bit of a resurgence, both in like the indie, well, mostly in the alternative sphere, where you have people like Joy Valence and Bray, for example, who have been really popping off with this kind of, you know what I mean, like a little aggressive, slightly kind
shouty.
of a shouty rap music. And I feel like I would categorize this together with like some of the hip hop music that we got from K-pop groups last year as well. Like I'm thinking about NMIX, for example. who had tracks like Dash or what's the other one? See That, right. Both of which were inspired by a similar aesthetic of sound. I think Young Posse does a bit more, dare I say, authentic approach to it a little bit, and Mix does a little bit more pop approach. And I feel like that's very most apparent in the rap verses. Like you still have the two main kids in this group in my head is Sunhye and Yeonjung. The two kids who have very different rap styles. Yeonjung having a much more higher tone, Sunhye having a bit more of a lower tone, a little bit closer to the treble range. And their flow design is really sick. I think it is just good. It's not good for K-pop standards. You can clearly tell they put in a lot of effort to like create a flow that really works. The way they use rhyme in the song is clearly very fundamental to hip hop music. It's like fucking we're rhyming to create groove, not just because fucking somebody on ChatGPT told me rap music needs to have rhyme. You know what I mean? Like I kind of felt that. So it felt like
that's good.
That's there. That whole approach is there. Now, do I think this sound works for everybody? I don't know. That's what I would say. Like, yes, I see what they're going for. Yes, I see how this is a bit of an evolution from where we were. But at the same time, the arrangement was a little... It felt kind of unorganized a little bit. The mixing and the arrangement felt very... Yes, it's hardcore rap, and it's, it's aggressive, but like it felt like there was too much going on all at once. And I'm talking about that. I'm talking about all of that from a perspective of a person who listens to a lot of rap music. So like, I don't think it's like, rap music loud, bad. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree I thought it was a lot. And then we had the jazz bar open up all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
That was a great decision.
I love that. Yeah.
Keegan, I think that's the guy who makes their music. That was a great decision from him. It was great, whatever that was. I was like, wow, this interlude thing, and that's the reason why the song felt like it didn't drag. Like, I think if they did not have this jazz bar, this jazz section, it would have felt like one loud note the entire time.
Yeah.
But I think that broke it up even more.
So well, and I think that's the reason why for a song that's 2:26 in terms of the music video length, it feels longer than that. It's because of that jazz section. It really helped out a lot in many, many ways, I think. For me personally, it also felt like a good decision in the aspect of Doeun. Doeun is the second rapper in that section who does the that thing. Yeah.
And no offense to Doeun, but I have felt like she has not been the best rapper of this group. And
fair.
That section in particular, it felt like it was a good way to cater to her strengths a little bit and have her rap in a bit more relaxed, a little bit, chiller, rap tone. I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? That was good production right there.
It was good decision there. I agree though. It was, I thought it was like it was okay. It's loud at times objectively. But I think that kind of broke it up well. I do like what Young Posse's doing. I like how they're committed to being these like hip hop children. It's kind of fun. I do like what they're doing as a whole. Hey, this thing got 10 million views after 4 days, so it's doing relatively.
I think the fan base is growing. I think it was there from the beginning, I guess. Like, but more so now. I think I hear people talking about them. So that's good.
Yeah. Doug, what are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna go into some like meta numbers. Keep going, Warren.
Okay. On one hand, let's talk about the direction a little bit, because we talked about how this is a bit of a progression
shift,
right? A bit of a shift. Okay. I think this works way better than having your song be full of pa-pa-pas, you know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
As much as I appreciate that, it's not gonna fly with the international audience. I'm sorry. Like this is on one hand, I think that was a good choice. On the flip side, it feels like this overall aesthetic feels, like we mentioned, a little more serious than Yes, hamburger XX large, good. You know what I mean? Like
macaroni cheese,
right,
yo.
Right. It feels like we've left the Kids Bop aesthetic a little bit.
Fair.
And I think that's fair for kids like Sonia and Yeonjung who are now over the age of 20. Sure.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you got Jiyoon who's like 15.
Yeah, they're still young. They're still young.
We're gonna run through like the whole first contract before we could do anything like mature concept with depth, you know?
I'm not saying they need to all suddenly grow up to the age of 21 and start twerking. That's not what I'm saying. It just
No,
but at the same time, it feels like they're asking for a little more seriousness than
But it's hard to do so, right?
Sorry, what?
But it's gonna be hard to digest,
Yeah.
right? Considering the kids. I get it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
mean,
Actually, yeah.
I guess I'm being positive. I think it can happen. I don't know exactly like what it needs to be, like concept wise, for it to fit everyone. But I think it's possible, and I think the fact that they've committed to this genre, right, like hip hop and the being like the rap being the main focus and for most of their songs, I feel like it lends itself where like even though they do have younger members, they can still play around with it a little bit more. I don't think they've explored all the options yet. I'll say that.
Okay.
So
Some numbers. I got good news and bad news, y'all.
Okay.
Let's go through it.
Can you get good news first? Yeah.
Good news. They broke their first day sales record. Right?
Nice.
good. That's good.
Good. It like pretty much doubled what they did for the first one or the last thing, right?
Wow.
Bad news. It's 3K. It's 3K.
So the number was
Compounding news. We're 5 days in. We got 6K albums sold. We are on a good trajectory, but sustainability interesting. I don't know how we're gonna manage that.
Yeah.
I feel like a group like Young Posse with their style, they could be a perfect like first act at a KCON LA. It would fit the aesthetic perfectly. Actually, be a lot of fun too. I think if they would show up.
Just to provide context, right? Cold. The 1 week sales for Cold was about 16,000.
Oof.
So we're a little behind if you want to get to 16,000.
Yeah, we're behind technically.
Just a little bit. I don't know. Like, on one hand, I don't think Young Posse is gonna be the type of group who's going to be reliant on. You know what? I don't know how Young Posse is gonna make music. sorry, make money.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, they're not gonna be the type to get like fans in China to buy 1 million albums. But at the same time, it's like, then who are we catering to there, right? Because it's not like Young Posse's doing a ton of shows or something either, you know, like a band or something. So I'm not sure what we're doing.
I mean, maybe okay. Someone's been updating their Korean wiki page, and in the year of 2025, they were invited to 9 different events. One of which was canceled due to weather.
no.
Yikes. But that's good news. Like, they're being invited to events to perform. That is a source of income. You know what I mean? Whether they can rely on that as a form of income, I do not know. But like on the other hand, they are actively doing like fan sign events, like fan meet events, that sort of thing.
We need to do stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Maybe they want to. I don't know. Like, if they want a fandom centric revenue model, they need more sales.
They should start riling people up. They should buy all the Labubus and like burn them in a bonfire, and then they'll rile the people up. Get the Blinks really angry because Lisa has her deal with Labubu.
I have the one and only Young Posse burnt up Labubu.
Hey man, viral marketing. Come on, I completely do not suggest they do that. That's probably a death sentence if they do that. All right, let's pivot. Last group from Big Hit proper. So we're on a BTS TXT CORTIS lineage line.
Wow.
Proper.
Okay.
This is their debut with What You Want. They released Go, which was that Travis Scott Fiend song last week. You know, some of you love it. I listened to that one. But we had that. Their group name consists of 6 irregular letters from the full team name Color Outside the Lines, which means to think freely and break free from the world standard. There is 5 members of this group. We have, let me go through this. We got James. He's from Hong Kong. But he also grew up, I think he was born in Taiwan, grew up in Hong Kong, something like that. We have Juhoon, who's from Korea. We have Martin, who's from Canada, but I believe his descent is Chinese. So we have a Chinese-Canadian kid named Martin. We have another Korean, Songhyun, and then we have Kunho, who's also from Korea. So 3 Koreans, 1 Chinese-Canadian kid, and then 1 kid from Hong Kong. That's the breakup.
No, Martin is apparently Korean-Canadian. Father is Canadian. Mother is Korean. Grew up in Korea for most of his life, is what I'm reading here.
What the F did I read that?
It's okay. We figured it out.
What the F did I read? I'm so confused.
James Martin.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know what I read.
I helped you there. It's okay. Nobody's gonna hate you.
I'm gonna get killed if someone clips. Dude, I clipped this. I'm sorry. He is a Korean kid from Canada, like Matthew Suk from DB1.
Martin Edwards Park. He currently has a legal nationality status in both Korea and Canada. Which means he'll need to pick one in the next 2 years.
I'm sorry, Martin. I apologize. Okay, you know what? All right, let's.
It's okay.
CORTIS, yes.
CORTIS. Yeah.
Okay, we're here with CORTIS. I'm sure we already got 4 angry commenters before we fixed it, but we're good. We're here. CORTIS, What You Want. Apparently, this is a conceptual performance film, which is a bunch of mumbo jumbo bullshit, in my opinion. To me, it just feels like someone watched OK Go and was like, treadmills are cool, and then we made this music video. I don't know if this is a true one shot. Maybe there were sneaky cuts. I'm not sure. I didn't look into it too much. But hey, it's like a performance video with treadmills in the desert somewhere. That's the easiest way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like this though? Did we like What You Want?
I mean, this feels, so I watched Go. I saw the music video. They also had like a performance version of that too.
I did
where they show more of the choreo.
Yeah.
I think song wise, Go is a little catchier. And this one, What You Want, I think I sense the vibe. Like between the two, I kind of see what they're going for. And like I've already mentioned, the meta of like approachable, not super flashy, like very chill is there. Like I think that's essentially what we're going for. And I guess that's what I got. I got that message. The only thing is that this song, I was confused why this song was the debut proper, I guess, because it is just a performance. Like, so there's not a lot of storytelling in the music video, to be honest. And also the song itself is a little one note. Like, there's not a lot of rising or falling action.
It's a lot of angst, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, and there's the one thing that I found interesting was that there's like this effect in the vocals. I don't know if that's the term, effect, but they sound a little interesting. That almost gave it like an indie vibe. Like if I was listening to like more indie pop, I guess, or my reference is from the US, but I just thought that was an interesting choice because they didn't really do that in Go, so this had an interesting sound.
Well, Go was full of autotune and this was not, so it's instantly a better song is what I'm hearing.
I mean, I didn't mind it. I don't mind the autotune in Go or the vocal effect on this one because it made it sound unexpected in a way or a little different to me, because the instrumental itself is quite minimal. Like there's not a ton going on, but yeah.
Just so we're clear on how I feel, like I felt like the autotune on Go was like completely acceptable. If anything, very appropriate.
Yeah.
Like
it made sense,
right? Like okay. quick side note, I was super annoyed by all the comments who were like, so much auto-tune, bad. I was like,
That's the genre.
You realize this is like half of pop music. What the fuck do you mean it's being used to cover up their vocal skill? No, it's a stylistic shit. Anyways.
Right.
I don't exactly know why you think this sounds indie.
I don't know either. I
yeah.
think it sounds like distant. Like there's something in the vocals that made it sound like recorded at like far away.
That was one of my two guesses. One being a vocal mixing tool, typically called a chorus, which is essentially you stack a bunch of the same audio recording, but like at a slight variance, so that it sounds like you have a whole stack of them. That's called a chorus. The other is called reverb, which this one sounds like it's doing some sort of near field reverb, which essentially makes it sound like you're in a big auditorium or like you're inside like an empty restroom or like, you know what I mean? Like it gives it this nice roomy atmosphere tone, you know what I mean?
Atmospheric, yes, that's the right word.
Right. I think the overall aesthetic of what they were going for felt very alt pop, indie pop to me.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. It felt like I was listening to a song that was like a punk rap record written by a rap musician. And I feel like if in the credits I see Tito Touchdown, and I feel like that was like, okay, that made a whole lot of sense. Like I'm not the biggest fan of what everything Tizo does, but I respect some of the stuff he's done. Impossible
Can you explain
was nice.
for people who might not be familiar who he is?
Tizo Touchdown is a musician who does, I want to say, some cross between rap music, and especially in the last album, he explored alt rock inspired rap music a little bit. So I think there's a bit of a alignment between the stuff he's done, particularly in the last album, and this track. That's what I got. It's very alt rap. A little bit. It's the alt rap, alt hip hop sound. A lot of people are also saying Brockhampton, and maybe.
Oh, I kind of see that.
Right, okay. Like I'm not gonna put a finger on a specific like Brockhampton song that sounds like. I'm not saying that, but like aesthetic wise, it feels like we got a youthful group of kids who have a lot of creative energy, and we're like, haha, like look at us, you know what I mean? Like, on the flip side, I was also getting a huge note of Steve Lacy a little bit, particularly with his like big TikTok hit, Bad Habit, which don't get me wrong, his vocal style in that song and the shouting in this song, nothing alike, but the instrumental, the way it's written, it felt like high
inspired, maybe.
Right. No, it felt like Big Hit was looking into like what sound can we borrow that would give it a bit more of an authentic vibe rather than K-pop. You know what I mean? Like, sure, chorus, build up, dance break, yes, all important. But how can you better connect with our audience who is, you know, younger and, you know, they're listening to a different kind of music? And I feel like this song in particular, a little less than Go, maybe, it felt like was inspired by some of the TikTok music that we are getting in this last couple years or so, where it felt like we were pulling from not only alt rock, but like alt hip hop a little bit. And I feel like going back to the Steve Lacy mention or the Tizo Touchdown mention or the Brockhampton mention, we're kind of going after the kids who are like, I'm a little artsy.
I'm going against the grain. Yeah.
Look at me and my little tote bag. You know what I mean? Like that kind of audience. Like no offense, I am fully a part of that audience. Like no offense. Like
alt culture, like a little,
right.
A little.
I mean, they literally name drop Nirvana in this lyrics, right?
Right.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was a little on the nose there.
Yeah.
To be in terms of the song itself, I thought that the singing parts from Kunho and I think Juhoon They needed it in this song. I think it really
I
broke
wish there
this
was
song.
more of that.
Because I felt like without those singing parts, it's like I get that it's a lot of angst, but with angst, sometimes it could come off as a lot of mope too, you know. And I think it really helped like break that up for sure. You know, in terms, you know, it's a big hit group. I have high expectations. It looked expensive. Like I know it's a cheap music video because they just got treadmills and threw them in a desert, but the production value felt expensive to me. Like it's intriguing on that aspect. Like I could see what's going on here. Clearly, they're all really good.
Yeah.
It's another one of those groups where I don't think this is the best song ever, but I'm intrigued, per usual, right? I wasn't blown away, but I'm like, this is kind of interesting.
I'm intrigued. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what I want to end with, are we going to maintain this like mopey but cool vibe? Is that going to be us? You know, this angsty vibe? Is that going to be this group and its identity throughout?
I don't know, cause like Go was nothing like that.
Go was not. Go was mainstream as F, right?
Right.
So
Go was very much. See, that's the thing. I don't think it's mainstream for the K-pop audience. Now, that's why we had a whole group of kids who are like, auto-tune bad. I don't listen. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like, personally, it feels like Mr. Bang went, how can we reach a little bit further towards an audience we don't have a good grasp of yet? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's been living in LA.
Right. Here's the thing.
Inspired by LA culture.
I looked at the press release, which gives us a lot of insight into how they think about each release. They had a lot of buzzwords, yada yada yada, color outside the lines, CORTIS. But the headlines were the boy group house big hit music. 6-year boy, newest debut after in 6 years. A young creator crew, in quotes, young creator crew who are all in their teens. A creative output that is very sensual.
Whoa! Whoa!
Actually, I don't know if
sensual. Get that last part.
You know, I don't know if sensual is the best translation. Sorry, I'm like translating on the spot. Yeah, okay, don't focus on the sensual part. That is not what I meant. That is probably not what Mr. Bang meant. I'll give you that.
Creators, though.
Yeah,
right?
go back
Creators,
to young creative
producers.
crew. Yeah,
because they're all over the credits. These kids, they're like everything. They're all over the place.
Made sure to quote young creative crew, like in Korean. And I'm like, okay. I am looking at their lyrics. We have Sunghyun, Martin, Konho, and Joohoon in the production somewhere. Now, because of the way Big Hit releases their credits, I have no fucking clue who wrote what. Like, did they?
It's like a scientific paper. If you even were like smelled the air in the lab while they were writing the paper, you could be like the 7th author on that shit. You know, that's what it feels like.
Your name is there.
I get it. I get why, but at the same time, it's like incredibly annoying for me where I'm like trying to figure out who did what and like what their creative aspirations for these kids are and like how much rap they actually wrote and that sort of thing. If I don't know, just by looking at the music video and the song, I am not getting a huge whiff of young creator crew. You know what I mean? Like, no, like I get that they are reaching for a different audience, and I really appreciate that. I thought that was really cool. I'm not gonna lie, and this is the first time creatively I've been interested by something Big Hit does. I will have to very much admit, like,
yeah, there's eyes on this. Like, you know, okay, so you know Harry Potter, they call him the boy who lived, right? These are the boys who survived, especially because a lot of the trainee A kids are going crazy right now, right? Like,
oh yeah, there's only one.
We got 2 trainee A kids in the top 8 of Boys Planet. We got Uchan going nuts right now in All Day Project, and these are the kids who made it through all this shit, and they actually debuted in the company, right? So I think there's I want to say there's added pressure, but like people know these kind of background info, right? People in the know. So I got expectations based on that, because like I see Sangwon on Boys Planet being the center of Whiplash doing the Karina parts. And I'm like, this kid's good as shit. I see Uchan doing his thing. And I go, well, these are the kids that actually debuted in the company, right? So to me, it comes with the pressure. But that's the pressure of debuting at Big Hit proper, for sure. There's so much pressure there.
Yeah.
Considering the track record.
Is there anybody else other than James who was included from Trainee A on this?
I have no clue.
I don't think so.
But I've seen people in the comments who were tuned into Trainee A saying if Trainee A had actually debuted, they expect the musical sound to have been somewhat this realm, is what I've been seeing people say.
So that didn't change much.
I don't think that's coming out of nowhere, because like if I think about Big Hit and the success of BTS and how Mr. Bang would go around describing their success, he would often talk about how BTS felt approachable because BTS takes a big part of the production, which is true. Like BTS is a group that did a lot of mixtapes. They would write their raps, and like obviously a lot of it was self-created. And I think Mr. Bang in particular placed a lot of focus on that being like a factor behind why they were successful. And then if I look at Trainee A, like Doug mentioned, we had Uchan off of ADP, who was, you know, very obviously a rapper who is capable of writing his own raps and whatnot. So it feels very natural for Big Hit to, particularly Big Hit proper, to push out something that feels something that is focused around the young creator crew, as they call it. That I think is very approachable. Now, my question on that becomes, okay, one, how much of that actually resonates with the target audience? Two, how much of that actually feels authentic? Because if you push out a group of kids and you label them as like artists, they're creators, you know, like they write their own music. Sure, you can do that, but like it is up to the audience to like figure out whether you agree with that or not. And if they don't, it's gonna backfire.
Yeah, calling themselves like a creative group or whatever you're calling it kind of feels like a content house for streamers. It feels like that to me, right?
Oh.
Where they're gonna like push out the content and the stuff, and we'll see if they sink or swim. I also want to shout out another trainee A kid, Jihoon, who's into us. So he made it over there. And one of the kids is in the SMTR25 thing. That SM group, the new batch of male trainees. One kid's over there. So clearly that Trainee A kid that Trainee A thing had really good trainees, right? They're doing all good stuff right now. But hey, let's see what happens with this CORTIS group. I think we're interested. I'm not a huge fan of calling this thing a conceptual performance film. Y'all got some treadmills in the desert, you know, like come on, y'all. I think that was a little bit too on the nose there, but hey, we got some angst here. We got apparently a creative group of lads. Let's see what we make with this, right? Let's go. Yeah. It does not feel like a traditional boy group in any sense right now. But let's do it. All right. Other releases this week. So the Blackpink girls released B-side music videos. Jisoo, Your Love, and then Lisa Dream featuring Kentaro Sakaguchi. They were both on their albums they released previously. They have B-side music videos, I'm calling them. So go check those out. NCT with Surf pre-release, Yuju, Reply, Ampersand One, That's That. We have Zunzini, which is an Astro subunit, Things Never Change. At Heart debut with Plot Twist. It's weird. It's wild to name something the English title Plot Twist after how big Plot Twist was last year. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. We have Ace Junhee's Supernova. It's also crazy to call something Supernova within 1 year. We have Pentagon Juno, Love Too Much, Monsta X, Do What I Want pre-release, and then Joy, Love Splash. So those were all the other songs released this week. All right, we're at SojuScore. Songs that average 7.3 will enter the Hall of Spice, which happened last week on episode 339. Kiki Dancing Alone got a 7.33. We had Eve Soap featuring Pink Pantheress with a 7.01. So Me Closer with a 5.64. Key Hunter with a 6.75. Have y'all seen some of the Pink Pantheress Eve TikToks? Kind of, it is a fun one that they did.
Oh,
you know, like you know how Pink Panthers has that thing like, hi, my name is da 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 da. Yeah, and they do like a back and forth in the TikTok. You should check it out. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
like Pink Panthers is wherever she's at, and Eve is in Korea, obviously, and they do a cool little TikTok. So check that one out. I thought it was fun. The songs this week: Identity, BOYtude. We have Young Posse, Freestyle, and then we have CORTIS. I apologize to Martin again. The Canadian Korean man.
How dare you?
Once again. Hey, those are the songs. Let me get this graphic up and we could get going. All right, the first song, Identity, BOYtude. I think we had a vibe here. I don't know. I wasn't the most blown away. I'm giving this a solid 6 for the first thing we got from the subunit.
I'm also at a 6. Like I said, I think this was an interesting release. I think all 3 songs, to be honest, check them out. I think they're all pretty solid. But I can see why people voted for this one. So it's a 6.
Damn. I was fairly impressed. I liked it. I think it was worth checking out. It's a very solid track, good pacing, flows really well. I don't care for the drill, but otherwise, I had no complaints. I have a 7.
That's 7 from Morin. We have The Nation and Gochu Gang also voted. They gave this track a 6.72. And as a result, it receives a 6.43. So that is the score for Identity's BOYtude. Next, we have Young Posse Freestyle. Okay, my initial impression was -1 because of the length. But then he had the jazz bar, and I think it cleared that one for me. I settled, surprisingly, at a 7 for this one.
Oh.
I like me some Young Posse. That's what the score I settled on here.
Okay. I enjoy this. I think I also just enjoy their energy. I love seeing their live stages because the mic is on, even though they're dancing quite intensely. It did get a little shouty though to me in like the rap section parts, and I think Warren mentioned it, or somebody mentioned that maybe not all the members were fitting in with this style. So I give it a 6.
For all the complaints I had, I felt like it was fine. Not gonna lie. Because at the end of the day, I was still very impressed. And yes, the arrangement is a little messy and a little over-aggressive. But you know what? Like, sure, I will take it, given that's a part of how this aesthetic is supposed to be. I'm trying to think. I was gonna touch on something, but I forget what it was. I liked it. I have a 7.
Whoa, 7! Hey, SojuTalk Nation Gochu Gang also voted. They gave this one a 6.50. And as a result, it is going to receive a 6.63.
Nice.
Grouping here. Finally, we have CORTIS with What You Want. Okay, here's my question off the bat. Is anyone going to be brave? Is their score different for Identity and CORTIS? Do we have people like that in here? We have different numbers between the two.
Different numbers between Identity and CORTIS?
Yes.
Yeah?
You, Anita?
No.
I knew it. Okay, Anita got the number of the devil. She got a 666 this week.
Hey, I think the song is still good. I just thought it was a little one note.
So I'm busting y'all's balls. I don't have a different score either. I also have a 6. Here's the thing. I was thinking between I was thinking between CORTIS and Identity. Which one would I want to come back quicker? Like, which one am I more waiting for?
Oh.
And I settled on the fact that, either of them. That was my that's how I knew that they were about the same. I was like the same amount of excitement out of the two songs.
Here's the thing. I do have a different score between Identity and CORTIS, but only because I agree with you guys and I have a 6.
Yeah. This feels like a 6. I don't know why. It just kind of does.
I like Go a little better. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't hate it, but at the same time, like, if I'm completely honest, if they want to go for this more authentic creator, direction, I want a little bit more authenticity. Both Doug and Anita mentioned how the song sounds a little flat and one-noted, which could work. But like combined with the rest of the stuff in the aesthetic, it feels a little too TikTok forward for me personally. And I felt
that's fair.
Yeah, in order to make this a 3-minute long whatever, I need a little more substance. Yeah.
Hey, Nation voted. They weren't the biggest fan of this one, guys. It was flat 5.
Oh my
flat
God.
5.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
That's kind of rare for Nation. Nation typically are very generous and average like a 6.
I wonder what they would have voted for Go.
As a result, 5.75. So no additions to the Hall of Spice this week. The scores are Identity BOYtude 6.43, Young Posse Freestyle 6.63, CORTIS What You Want 5.75. Those are the Soju scores. for episode 340. And finally, we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yeah, we have a couple here. First, I have Blackpink with Jump. They won a SojuScore and Inkigayo, which gave them a triple crown there. So a total of 9 wins so far with that one. Then we have Even with How Can I Do. They won on the show and Music Bank, so 2 wins. And then lastly, NCT Dream with Chiller, 1 win on M Countdown.
Hey, this Jump thing keeps winning. You got triple crown and Inkigayo. I think there's only like 4 songs that have done it this week, this year, including 2 G-Dragon songs. So it's limited company. Also give another shout out to Even, which is one of the remnant Boys Planet groups made up of kids who did not win that show, and they're doing fairly well. They have like 3 or 4 music show wins for them too in total. So yeah, those are the show winners. That ends part 1, episode 340. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back at it. Part 2 of Soju Talk, episode 340. We got some news and events from the past week. Not a lot, but there is some. The first one. So G-Dragon is being sued right now. So the KOMCA has stated that it's difficult to hold G-Dragon responsible for copyright infringement since he's not a holder, since he's not the copyright holder of the song he's being sued for. So apparently last year, some composer filed a lawsuit against G-Dragon, YG the man himself, and the CEO of YG Plus for copyright infringement. He claimed that YG had illegally reproduced and used his song, which is oddly titled G-Dragon, which he composed in 2001. In 2009, he's claiming that this song was included in G-Dragon's solo live album solo concert live album under the title My Age 13. And this person viewed this as unauthorized reproduction and sued YG for copyright infringement. But a representative of the Korean Record Association said, yeah, G-Dragon's not registered as an author for this song. So unless he's somehow getting copyright fees, it's going to be hard to hold him responsible for something he doesn't own at all.
Wait, but why now, though, if this happened in 2009?
Yeah, that's the number one thing people are saying is, does this man wake up from a 15-year coma or something to sue now? I don't know.
What a fucking idiot.
Right?
I don't know what's going on.
What a waste of my tax dollars. I don't know what to say.
And YG, the company stated no, there's 2 songs called this, and it's a mislabeling issue. I don't know why we're getting sued for something like this. I don't know.
It really feels like this guy is just,
hoping for a settlement.
Yeah, somewhere. Just wants money. Because I'm looking up the timing of things, and it looks like the initial lawsuit was filed in November last year, which lines up with the time when GD was bumping up for his comeback cycle there. So, I don't know. I don't think this needs a lot of. No,
I just wanted to clear the air because people were like, he's getting sued? What the F? No, it doesn't seem like he's gonna get in trouble. So next thing. So his company, Galaxy Corp, they're going to have US auditions for their upcoming virtual K-pop group.
Why?
Yeah. So off the bat, this Galaxy Corp, which is number one, people say it's weird that G-Dragon's even at this company because this is an AI technology firm, right? But G-Dragon's a musician under their company, and they're not gonna make any attempts to make a real K-pop group. They're just going straight virtual right off the bat. So they're gonna hold auditions for this virtual group. That's gonna happen.
It's It's very this whole company is very confusing to me. Also, like just for context, the only other artist under this label is the fucking actor Song Kang-ho, which you may know from like a huge backlog of Korean movies.
Post,
Yeah.
Memories of Murder, Taxi Driver,
Parasite.
the Parasite, yeah.
It seems like there's some sort of relationship that exists with Sublime Entertainment. And even then, this company has a bunch of production studios sitting under it. Studio 27, which produced Physical 100, WDM, which did Miss Trot 2, Studio Rudolph, which is the company that's currently producing One Day Tonight, as well as a bunch of other legacy media, shows.
They also produced Physical 100. This company randomly.
That's exactly what I said. Studio 27. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on here. It's weird. But hey, if you're in LA and you want to audition for a virtual group, let's get it.
Like Plave, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to make a new Plave, more or less.
They're
looking for some Americans to be in it. So that's something. You could be ugly as shit. If you're talented enough, you can end up in this virtual group.
Now.
Let's go, everyone.
I
Let's
just don't like the vibes I'm getting from this. I'm not gonna lie. Just
it just feels like it just feels like they're paying these people to be in their company a shit ton of money. Does it not? It feels like that to me. Let's keep going. So New Jeans and Adore held another mediation session on September. They're gonna hold another one on September 11th. Now, I saw some Americans being like, pick any other day, but at the same point, I don't think the global people hold that date as heavily as the rest of us do, as us Americans do. But this is like, they got a mediation session here, and then they have until like the end of October before there's gonna be a decision on the main case. So the court is basically saying, hey, you have until the end of October to figure something out, or we're just gonna make a judgment on this. So there was that. And in the meantime, there was another mediation that happened on August 14th. Two of the members were reportedly going to be present. It was Danielle and Minji. They were at this mediation. And because we heard no news of a settlement, it probably failed. That's what people are saying.
Didn't reach anything.
So
we're doing that.
The thing is, there were photos that fans took of the two kids like before and after the session.
Yeah.
Before the session, I don't know. There was a lot of photos circulating online of how they were very sad and frowning afterwards the session, and I don't know. That's typically
not looking good.
Sign. No.
Hey, we're reading the tea leaves. Reading the tea leaves. I got another wild thing.
Okay.
Momoland is making a group comeback after 3 years and 8 months.
Wow.
With the new release on September 8th.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so if I remember correctly, Momoland was at the hellscape that is MLD Entertainment, right?
Yes. Named after Momoland, by the way, which is crazy.
But then they got out of it at the end of 2023, I believe, something like that. So I guess the kids are just saying, let's do something together. We're not under MLD now, and we can try to do something. So we'll have to see what that ends up looking like.
They're now at Inyeon Entertainment.
Okay, they're over there. Yes. Next thing we got is Zero Base One in talks to extend contracts. Obviously, this group is doing incredibly well, right? Like, they're selling millions after millions of album. We'll have to see what happens. Hey, there is now precedent of a survival show group existing past the first contract with Kepler. So it's not impossible anymore. It could possibly happen. But I think the big problem is going to be Yewa has 4 kids in this group right now.
Oh, yeah.
Zhang Hao, we got Ricky, I believe Yujin's in this, and I think Tere are all under Yehua. So it's a 4 out of the 9 kids in one company.
It is worth noting that Yehua is like preparing they're publicly preparing a boy group at this moment. What's it called? They have there's a name for it. I forget, but They're preparing a boy group, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, oh, I don't want to do this, but we'll see what happens.
Yep. So good news, but I don't know how much you should just invest in that right now. Next thing. YG, the man himself, had one of his YouTube videos where he just talks about the company and what they're doing. Blackpink are pushing for a new mini album in November at the latest. That is the thing we're getting from YG himself.
Okay, so
We're getting a mini
2027.
album. November 2027. You heard it here first. Let's go.
You heard it here first, folks.
Next thing, FNC's new boy group. Okay, I have another thing here. I don't know how to pronounce this shit. Look at this. I think it's just AMP. AMP, yeah, AMP will debut on September 10th with an LP, making the label's first new band in 10 years after CM Blue, FT Island, and N Flying. The 4-member group aims to amplify our voices to the world through its name.
Okay.
Yeah.
AMP.
Hey, FNC has produced a lot of famous groups that you've seen here, boy bands specifically. CM Blue, FT Island, N Flying's doing okay. This name is really weird. It's confusing to read. I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but if you're a fan of some band music, you're gonna be getting a new group over there. Next thing, we have Secret Number, right? I've heard of this group. I couldn't name any of their songs off the top of my head, but they have revealed new members. Dinda, Minshi, Nabi, and Ibin. They're going to be added to the lineup. I believe this is the third lineup change for this group, or second lineup change.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know those like smaller groups you hear of that just keep switching members all the time in the lineup all the time? I feel like we're approaching that kind of situation here. So previously, back in July 23 of this year, it was reported that they're making their comeback too. Sudam and Zoo are the only members left of the old lineup as the other members left. So a bunch of them left. We got 4 new members, and we're just gonna 4 members left. We added 4 new ones, and we're gonna do it up.
Okay, well.
Interesting.
Good luck. Yeah.
If you were a fan of a group, right? Like, let's say in the middle of the run, Warren, Rocket Punch replaced like 3 kids with like 3. Like, they didn't just remove 3 kids; they added 3 new kids who are basically filling their roles. How would you feel about that?
Yes.
Right?
Not good.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
This is rough.
At that point, just give it a new name. Like, let's be honest. Like,
Rebrand.
yeah, just like call it Public Number or some shit. I don't know. Like,
or we could just call it what's the new Girl Set? We could just switch it up, right? We could just rebrand, guys. No shade towards them. I'm excited to see what they do, but yeah, I don't know. You got rid of like 66% of the group and you just added the same amount like for like. I don't know how I feel about that. Next, Wendy World Tour is starting.
Oh.
Kind of, if you want to see amazing vocals, you go to that. We have Artemis World Tour. It's coming soon. Apparently, because they did their Club Icarus thing in New York, they're not coming to New York with this tour.
Hey.
But then someone pointed out, but they did both the tour and the club thing in LA. So sucks to suck New York. So that's
not again.
And then finally, not specifically K-pop news, but K-entertainment news. Our boy Kim Jong-kook announced his marriage yesterday. Hey, shout out to JK.
Congrats.
You know, it's been a running meme for like 20 years. This man is still dating Yoon Eun-hye of Baby Box. But hey, he found the wife. He's 49 years old. He's gonna get married. Warren, what's the age? Let's make guesses here. What is the age of the bride? When we find out eventually.
Oh.
I don't know, man.
Plus or minus 40. That's the first thing.
Minus.
Let's go plus or minus. I think minus.
No.
Like, let's be honest. Kim Jong-kook the type to be dating 20 years below, man. Like,
I was talking to Anita before the show. I'm like,
oh, yeah?
Oh, what did you think the wife is going to be? Anita's like, it'd be nice if she's like 43, 42. And I'm like, Anita, it's more likely she's 32 is what I told her.
No, that seems odd.
I'm not gonna say it's a good thing.
Hey, all I know is the writing was on the wall with him getting married. Like, they made a big deal about him moving on Running Man and all of his other things recently. And he was selling he was downsizing and cleaning his items. Like, he was like getting rid of stuff. So people were like, And yeah, turns out it's true.
Okay. there is apparently some article going around that has a lot of supposed details about how they met and like the age of the girl and like whatnot. Just like, I would probably not touch that. Just they want it clearly. These folks want to keep it private. Just try to keep it. Just try to respect that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like because like if, for example, if the lady is like more than a decade younger than Kim Jong-kook, everyone's gonna be pissed off. Like, I don't know, man. Until it becomes public info, just keep out of it. I think, And
it's gonna be tough to keep it out of the public though, because people want to know with this one for sure. Hey, I always said that I wanted Kim Jong-kook to do The Bachelor in Korea. I'm going to give up that dream. And congratulations to you, Big Hyung. Let's go, Jungkook. Let's go. Yay. All right. Music next week. Kepler, Secret Number, Moonbyul, Hi-Fi Unicorn, Junie, Arise, A-Turn, surprisingly Teen Top, Stray Kids, Just Be, IVE, AB6, and EXO's Chanyeol. That's a lot of artists there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. EXO.
Just on face value, IVE, Stray Kids, Kepler, like the big three. That'd be my guess.
I think we're definitely covering the Stray Kids and IVE.
Yeah. The third one was up in the...
We'll see. Maybe probably Kepler, given our audience. We'll see. If you want to let us know which one you want us to cover, don't forget to vote in the Discord. And
that's all I got.
Yeah, don't complain about later when it gets chosen.
The post show.
Let's pivot.
Woo!
All right. Hi, everybody. We got a hot take bonanza, Nation Edition. I don't know why I said that in a southern accent. 2 weeks ago, Doug, Anita, and I came to the board with some of our hottest takes, and we were then like, hey, what do our listeners have to say? So I sent out an open letter to y'all. I was like, hey, drop me some of your hottest, spiciest takes. We will talk about some of them on the show. Some being like, look, here's the thing. Some of the takes, so this is a message sent out. Some of the takes that we got were just bad. No offense, but like,
in what sense?
Some of these takes were like, oh, Group A is bad. Group B's fandom is bad.
Someone said K-pop bad while listening to a K-pop podcast? That's wild. That's wild.
Here's the thing. I picked out the ones that I thought would be the most interesting for discussion. If you think a specific group is bad, like, don't get me wrong, I might agree with you, but like,
hey, just don't listen to them then. You know.
You guys ready? Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, let's go.
We're gonna go through each take, and then we're all gonna either agree or disagree with the take. No in betweensies. None of that 50% I agree, but the precursor, you know what I mean? None of that. I'm going to choose either agree or disagree. Did you hear that, Anita?
Yeah.
Anita, you can't just give out the equivalent of a 6 for every take, Anita. You cannot. You cannot this time.
You cannot give me 2 triangles. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. First take. I'll read the first one.
All right.
Someone said, we gotta do something about these comeback promotion cycles, man. Like, not only are we getting like 2 weeks of teasers, but also 2 weeks of promoting the song on the music shows, and then the entire era is considered over? ?
Oh, okay.
So, the core of the take is that these comeback cycles too fucking short. 2 weeks of music shows? You agree?
I agree.
Elaborate. I mean, do elaborate.
All right. I feel for me, when I like a group, I start to consume the content, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't really watch teasers because I don't want to get spoiled. I just want to see it for what it is, straight up. Like, even the groups I like, maybe I'll look at the music video trailer the day before one time, but I really am not like looking at the concept photos or or like the sampler. I don't do that. So when the comeback starts for me is when we drop the music video, right?
Okay.
That's in my head. That's where I start. If we're done after 2 weeks of Inkigayo, As you know what I mean? Like, what do I watch? 5, like 7, like what am I gonna watch? 10 music show stages and then we're done? That's way too short. I need like, I wish more groups would pack in content and like stuff that fits the vibe for this comeback. Like, go on a trip or do something. I think we need longer promotion cycles.
Well, okay. I wasn't sure if this take was gonna be like it's too long or too short, because to me, the comeback cycles nowadays, like within the last maybe 2 to 3 years, have included a lot of pre-releases. So I include that in the comeback cycle.
The better take is I think the pre-release stuff is bullshit. That's my real take.
Okay, yeah, that's I think the more like up in the air, like do people like that or not, to have the pre-release come out like a month before the actual release. Because to me, that extends the comeback cycle where they get 2 weeks with that pre-release and promotions, and then they might take like a week off, and then by the time the actual song is released, the main title track, the music video and everything, we're like a month out from that pre-release. So it feels longer to me because we've added this pre-release
so that a disagree then?
Thing. I guess I disagree, because to me, we're not counting that pre-release that is now a staple for a majority of groups.
I will be honest, I also disagree. Because if I'm thinking about like an era, like a comeback cycle for a group, I'm also including like the tour they go on after. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Like they're still gonna put stuff on TikTok. Like some of these dudes are like putting out like YouTube content for like that's like catered towards a specific cycle of shows. Comebacks. I'm okay with that. Personally, while I think music shows are a very big staple of K-pop, they are tight. They are exhausting to make. Y'all
back to back,
right? Like
all
back
week?
to back all week.
Yeah,
you're there all day, just waiting, doing nothing else.
It's nice. I'll say that though. It is nice. As a consumer,
it is nice.
It is hard.
But I'm not complaining that we're only getting 2 weeks of music shows. If it's shorter, I will complain. But 2 weeks, okay.
The better take. Is there a take about music shows? Because I think there's way too freaking many. Like that's my.
Oh damn.
That could be a take.
That was not a take I received. Doug thinks there's too many music shows.
I think it's too many, and it's too, like, it's bullshit how they have to sit there all day to do it. That's my other. I don't think it needs to be live.
Yeah, well, you know, that's. I agree with you there, but we'll talk about that another time. I think Doug agrees.
All right.
Anita disagrees. I also disagree. Let's move on to the next.
Let's drag this shit out. B-side music videos, filmed content. Like, come on, we could do fun stuff.
I agree. We could do some other stuff too. Let's move on.
Concerts.
Let's move on to the next take. Doug, read this take.
Oh, okay, because I'm the one who always talks about this. Album sales in K-pop should not be the judge on how famous the group is, because I think it is inflated. For example, 17 is selling millions of albums every comeback, but their tour is struggling to sell. I think they are not as famous as the media makes them out to be.
Really? I don't know how the sales are going.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say I agree with the take. I don't agree with 17 being an example, because I personally just know too many 17 fans in real life. Like, I know too many of y'all.
You agree with the thing about the album sales?
I agree with the album sales though, because the thing is, I don't think album sales should be the only way groups are judged on their success rate. You know what I mean? Like let's go back. Let's go back to some of these K-pop girl groups who are like selling jack shit album sales, but like everyone, like there's a huge fandom apparently, and like people follow them, and like they make their money outside of album sales. You know what I mean? Like they exist. From Miss 9 is a big example of that. You know what I mean? Like I's One was a big example of that.
Here's the thing. I'm the guy who always brings up the album sales. I only bring up the album sales because it's an easy quantifiable thing that's readily available online via Hanto, right? That being said, we need some kind of metric for success, unless we just don't talk about monetary success on the show, or just success in general. You know what I mean? Because I can't just be like, I feel like they're doing well, and I have nothing to back it up with. It just feels like an empty statement to me. That being said, like, for people at home, what alternative do you think would be better? Because Spotify's numbers are inflated, YouTube numbers are bought these days. It's all inflated, right?
Chart, maybe
Vibes.
the charts.
Vibes. Just vibe check.
We used to go on vibes and be like, I feel like they're doing well, and then they disband like a year later, you know?
We would go off of vibes, and like there would be an open 300 style coliseum in our comment section about
you remember we used to do our tier list on vibes and people were not happy.
People would shit on those so bad.
In terms of the album, here's the thing with these groups, album sales is one part of how they're making money, but it's like touring's obviously how they make a lot of money. And I agree. I'm looking at this concert. It ain't selling too well. It's not sold out by any stretch of the imagination. But I think there's more factors than just like their success going into them not selling a lot of like tickets for like day 2 in California. You know,
Doug, is it fair to say you also agree?
If I had to choose between yes or no, then I agree because there's way more things that needs to be involved.
Okay. Anita, you have not spoken yet. Give me your take. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I don't know. I guess I think album sales are
It matters.
Are a reflection of popularity. I guess how much importance you give to it can differ, but I think it's still a signifier of where this group is at relatively to their, contemporaries, to whoever is also active. So I think, I don't know. I guess I kind of disagree because I think.
How spicy am I allowed to get, Warren, about this?
I mean,
out there.
It's up to you, man. Be honest, is what I'll say.
Okay, people complaining that album sales aren't a good metrics are on full copium that the new girl groups that they like aren't selling a lot.
Oh,
that's my take.
Okay. Nation, you let me know if you agree or disagree with that one.
Is that wrong to say though? Like, if your group was selling 1 million albums, you would not be saying this.
This is true. Yeah, I mean, like,
that's a fact. If your group was selling millions, you would be saying, yeah, they're doing well. They're selling 1 million albums.
What I will say is, every group is successful in different ways. That sounds like a cop-out statement. I take it back.
No, you're right though. You're right on that.
Every group makes money in different ways. For some people, it's album sales. For some people, it's events. For some people, it's like yeah, right. For some people, it's like ad revenue. You know what I mean?
The YouTube shows or something.
Right. For most people, I would imagine it's a combination of everything. But the ratio is going to be different group to group. So, just looking at album sales, I think is a terrible idea, but it is a very useful metric to have in your pocket. Count. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next thing.
A little too spicy there. I apologize if I offend. No.
I'm keeping that on the show.
I'll sleep in the bed that I made. That was kind of savage of me. Shit. Okay.
All right.
The Harold comes out.
Anita, please read our third take of the day.
All right, this one is self-production is overrated in K-pop by fans for 2 reasons. 1, usually when K-pop performers get involved in production, it's very tokenistic. Like there will be 6 to 8 other people credited too. So how much are they even involved? And then 2, because being a good singer and dancer can still mean your judgment and capabilities are ass when it comes to making good music.
Ooh.
Shit. Okay. I think personally 2 is the spicy section of this argument.
Right.
Because we're implying that K-pop musicians can be shitty producers. And I'm not gonna lie, I had like 3 or so takes that were very similar. And the other 2 were openly targeting specific artists. Every producer has ups and downs. Not every producer is releasing hits after hits after hits. You know what I mean?
Right. I see where they're coming from because I feel like maybe it's a recency thing because
I agree with this.
Covered CORTIS, right? But it's like with the first part, yes, it's hard to to really see this involvement of the artist in the production as something substantial because there are so many people that are working in the tracks. And I guess what comes to mind to me is that were these people involved in production before they joined this company, before they joined this group? You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
I think of that as well.
I don't agree with that. I think they could learn it. I think it could be learned.
True,
Nature versus nurture. I think you could nurture this out of them.
But does it feel a little performative in that way, though? Where it feels like, okay, I have to learn this because I'm going to be a K-pop idol and I want to have this level of involvement.
I'm okay with
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's, yeah.
I think we're failing to grasp what this take is actually getting at, which is
overrated.
Companies are labeling their groups as self-produced as a marketing ploy when it's taking away from groups and companies where the idol is actually making like a big contribution to make the music. Do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is I think this take is more pointing at like the groups and artists who are saying like, yeah, we got self-production, and then they got 15 people helping them, right? But then there are other groups where we have someone in-house who's making the music and they're making like 95% of the shit, you know? I think those are two very different scenarios here.
Here's what I'll say. The current market, the way it is right now, most K-pop musicians are not singer-songwriters. They don't produce. Most aren't. I'd say maybe ballpark 20%-ish, if anything less, of the entire audience. Of the entire artist population is writing their own music. In my personal dream, my ideal K-pop utopia, that number rises up to like 60%.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because like, I always think music is a lot cooler if it's that much more personal to the person who performs it. And don't get me wrong.
Sink or swim on their own music.
What?
So maybe
I agree with. I'm saying that they should sink or swim with their own self-produced music. I think it'd be cool.
Okay, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't disagree with that. And like at the end of the day, like even in this utopian world, I'm not expecting like, for example, these groups to write all of their music. I'm assuming there will be some sort of help with like a professional production crew, because at the end of the day, these are pop musicians. Yes, all of K-pop is like a forest of industry plants. I get that, but at the same time, it would be a shit more cooler if, you know, people are producing their music. Now,
if they want to.
Right. The thing is, even though there are groups that use it more as a marketing ploy than others, and specific artists, you know, say they're self-produced when literally they wrote, you know, maybe five words on the production, we will never know. I just want more of it. I think we're at the state where I can't manage to complain about. I'm not saying this take is a complaint, but I'm not willing to go ahead and criticize people who are using it as a marketing ploy, because you know what? At the end of the day, if they're involved, they're involved.
Damn, now you made me sound like an asshole. Okay,
I disagree with Warren. No. I disagree. You're all PP.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. My thing is, I think self-producing is overrated when people aren't actually taking tangible amounts of like part in the production. That was how I
think that's fair,
interpreting it.
No, I think that's fair. Yeah.
How about you, Anita? Agree or disagree with the thing at face value?
I feel like
no explanation, yes or no.
No, hold on. I want to go back to like the first part of this where it is about overrated, and I think it's being overrated by fans, right? By the people who are consuming this music. And I think I kind of agree. Yeah. But I'm not saying it's bad to have it labeled as self-production, because I do think it's cool when people
here's the other thing.
Are involved.
Unless I'm into a group and I know the inner workings, like, oh yeah, Uzi makes all their music, I typically don't give a shit, though, to be honest with you.
Well, I disagree with you, PP.
That's fine. Fine. Yeah. I always find it as like something I find out after I've consumed the music and I like it. I go, oh, and they made it? That's cool. But if
when
they
you
did, I don't
like
think it
it-
takes anything away. Yeah.
Yeah, when you feel like
Yeah.
something was really, really nice, and then you go back to the credits and like, oh, who worked on this?
Oh,
And
wow.
then you see
Yeah.
that it's
Then
the
I'm like,
artist.
that's impressive.
I do want to touch on going back to the second part of this argument. That's like, yes, they can be involved in the songwriting, which can lead to shitty songwriting. Like I'm very well aware of that. But I think at the end of the day, maybe this is a hot take in itself, I will take mid self-production over slightly better not self-production.
Ooh, that's interesting. All right, let's keep going. Let's leave it on that. Wow. No, that's some food for thought.
I will read the next take. I think it's my turn. aespa have been the biggest and maybe only winners of the Adore implosion.
Oh.
So this is clearly talking about the New Jeans Adore hype situation. All these groups were involved.
Interesting.
Okay, my initial impression is don't circle my thing because
Okay.
I'm not completely sure where I'm going to fall on this.
Okay.
My initial impression is on a face value, yes, they've probably been the biggest winners, but how much of that is attributed to the implosion? Because if you still released Whiplash while New Jeans was around, I still think it would have been really good.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I still think
Timing.
Supernova and Whiplash would have been really good even if New Jeans was active. That's my honest opinion. But have they been the biggest winners not taking any of that bullshit into account? Probably. It's them or Ive, I would assume, right? Maybe?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The wording is interesting as far as like winners, right? Because I don't.
Basically, Anita, who's improved their stock the most since the implosion happened?
Who's
is more or
taken
less what this is.
advantage the most of the Adore
Yeah.
situation, directly or indirectly? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, the real answer is all the rookie girl groups. Maybe that's just...
it's Young Posse back in the house.
No, it's like the Hearts to Hearts, it's the Baby
Triple S.
Monsters,
The
it's the Triple
Kiki.
S's, it's the Kikis.
Yeah.
The All Day Project, they've taken, the public's view. Like,
Okay, I have made up my mind. I disagree, particularly because of what you said. I'm not gonna lie. I was getting there.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
the relatable new rookie girl groups.
Yeah. It's the amount of groups that have started doing high teen, we're relatable, we're real, we wear jeans and a crop tee, that kind of groups. Like, they're all of us. We're all doing that now. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate the fact that everyone's doing it. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But because of the situation we're in, nobody's pointing their finger and saying New Jeans ripoff. And I know that would have been a thing, regardless of whether that's the fact or not.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether
know-
they copied off of New Jeans, people are gonna say New Jeans knockoff, New Jeans knockoff, New Jeans knockoff. They were gonna say it, but nobody is because of what's happening.
I got two funny points. First thing, it's not like New Jeans didn't win Song of the Year Day Song with Next Level in 2022.
That's true.
It's not like they didn't, right, guys? Right?
But it's also
that's one thing.
It's also worth noting that like all the releases from New Jeans last year came after the Minigen implosion. So like,
Yeah, and then my other funny food for thought is, out of all the groups we've been talking about, the group that feels least like a New Jeans clone is Island, who's the main part of the lawsuit. Isn't that funny? If you think about their music, like, New Jeans ain't doing Jellius. They're not. There's no way. So that's why it's funny. Anita, do you agree or disagree with this?
I
You
disagree.
can agree. It's fine. You disagree?
No, I disagreed because I didn't really think it was like a winners thing. But
Like, has the implosion helped aespa re-peak at Daesang? Sure. But I think a lot of it has to do with that they release good music at good timing.
yeah.
okay, we all disagree. Let's move on to the next take. Who wants to read? Doug, you read.
I probably will enjoy unique voices with mid, but still passable vocal skills more than really good execution. Just sounds like any other voice.
100% agree. 100% agree. 200% agree.
Voices with mid.
500% agree. A circle, another circle. I will take a mid unique vocal tone any day over like a very talented but like run of the mill vocal person.
Okay, that's what this is saying. I understand this now. So you're saying I rather have someone with a crazy, unique voice on a mid-tier group than someone who's just blending in on like a corporate, like a big corporate song, right?
Right.
That's what we're getting at.
A very talented but very normal vocal tone versus very mid but not very good, but also very unique vocal tone.
Oh, no, I'd rather take unique. That was like before they blew up. That was the whole appeal of G Idol, was interesting vocal tones.
Oh,
before they blew up.
Oh, okay.
To me, like when we heard Oogie for the first time when they were rookies, we were like, "Who the f is this girl?"
That's true.
I remember us talking about this.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not like those, like some of the songs were bangers, but some of them were not. But you were like, man, they got interesting voices in this group for sure.
Like Minnie as well in that group too. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? I think unique is good in 2025 because a lot of things are very cookie cutter.
Anita, what do you think?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Looks like that was not a very spicy take.
No, I think we're there's like a lot of groups that just like everyone sounds the same, right? And I like there's these dudes on Boys Planet. There's a couple dudes who have like deep voices. It just sticks out so much when they sing. Yeah, they literally sound like
all of them.
Yeah, Hushin Long is one of them. He's doing well, and his voice is just deep as shit. And you're like, well, this guy has something going on right now.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Next take. Anita, please read the next take.
All right, this next one is, I don't care or want live vocals in most circumstances. I'd rather have someone who has a voice that sounds good after mixing, even if they can't sing live, over an actual singer who can sing live but doesn't sound as good in the studio. I don't like listening to vocal blemishes / weak spots during dance / stage performances. The only time I like live vocals is when they're not doing choreo and are specifically doing a vocals only performance.
I disagree inherently. A strong disagree for me.
Strong disagree with you.
I'm team live vocals are good, like I've always been.
An actual singer you can sing live.
Here's my modern example.
Okay. Modern example.
Golden has come out, right, guys?
Right.
Yes.
Huntrix.
Yes.
I have two examples within Golden. First one, ISNA has been touting their Golden stage. They've done it multiple times now. It's lip synced, right? And I'm an ISNA fan.
Have they ever done it like completely live?
I think there's like one or two. There's like a practice where it's like you hear them singing, but you also hear the AR. But it's not never 100% live.
Okay.
Versus, Stacy, I think like this weekend.
I saw that.
Sang it live. They didn't dance, but they just sang it, and it just felt so much better to me. Additionally, my second example was Yujin released a video singing Golden, and it was like engineered, and it sounds perfect. Versus other people like a Solar, she kind of sang it live, and it wasn't perfect, and I found the Solar one way more endearing.
Sounds like shitty mixing to me is what it sounds like.
When I'm hearing your reasoning, Doug, right? And I feel like that falls into what this person mentioned in the take right at the last bit, where they say, I like the live vocals when it's a vocal only performance, right? So that's kind of what Stacey was doing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I see where they're coming from in a way, because I feel like the criticism is that K-pop idols should be able to sing live in their performances. So in the choreo part, in the live stages. And I think what it's saying is that I will take someone who maybe isn't able to do that, but they're able to they sound fine in the studio, they sound good, and they can do the vocal only stuff when needed. And I feel like, okay, that kind of makes sense, but to me, if you can sing live and perform live, you will sound good in the studio too.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you agree?
So I feel like I guess I care. I think it's important to be able to sing and perform live, because I feel like I don't think it's ever a bad thing.
Yeah, the reason I strongly disagree is I rather you not sing it perfectly live and sing it live and make the attempt than it just be lip sync. To be completely honest,
I will.
I guess,
I will go. I also disagree for the matter, and I will go as far as saying, if you can't sing it live while doing all the choreo, don't fucking do the choreo.
That's how I feel.
So the choreo should be different.
Yeah, make the choreo easier. Just stand. I don't know. Just like. And
like, I get it. If you're singing a crazy song, you don't gotta be dancing during the hard singing part. Honestly, you could stand there and belt it, and it's fine.
For me personally, maybe this is where I lean a little more oldie in K-pop, but like, yes, the performance aspect is very important. That's where I respect this argument, but I disagree with it because at the end of the day, K-pop musicians are musicians. They should be making music, and this, for them, that format is singing. Choreo and dance is obviously a big part of a creative output for K-pop, but I think the fundamentals of it is the music, and live vocals is a big part of that, in what they put out. I get that you don't like hearing vocal blemishes and weak spots. I
like hearing it.
Sure, I mean, I don't like hearing weak spots either. But I would rather be reduced that by making the choreo easier or not or whatnot. I remember there was a show we covered a while back. I think it was some form of Kingdom, where everybody was lip syncing the entire time and people were doing circus shows. And I was like, this is very uninteresting to me. It's like, I'm not here to watch circus.
Well, okay,
hey, one thing that's interesting, Boys Planet Modern Day is 100% live. No AR.
Oh yeah, it's pretty live.
Yeah.
I want to clarify something, because I think this also comes up when we talk about live vocals, or in the arguments of live vocals. I understand that for health reasons too, it's not always feasible and it's not recommended to be singing live all the time. Like, I understand that artists also have to take care of their voices, and it's not good to be singing all the time because they do so many performances back to back. I do think, though, that I care about it, and I want to see most of their performances be live when they can. Like, for example, when they are starting to do a music show, like the first week of their comeback, right? I feel like that's when most people are paying attention, and when it makes sense to kind of show off the skills, the vocal skills. Also in like concerts, I know that sometimes you can't be singing live for 2 hours straight. It's not always feasible, but I think it's something that I feel like a good chunk of people appreciate it when you are watching the performance live, when you are there. Also, yeah.
If they're gonna lip sync at a concert too, can y'all at least record a live song version that doesn't sound perfect? Because I ain't gonna name names. There's a girl group who toured this year who was very obvious when they were lip syncing and when they weren't during the concert.
Damn.
And I think that's bad, especially because people are paying a lot of money to see it.
I will admit, like, I'm very much okay with the musicians who have an AR version going.
Oh yeah.
Underneath their vocals.
Yeah.
And like all the
that's fine.
Yeah, like the musicians who are like, oh, sing along with me, and they're if all they do is like basically just have a good time, like that's fine too for a concert. Like, I think dependent on the genre and the style of music you're doing and the audience you cater to, there are cases where that is very appropriate. But overall, I would not take just lip syncing. I think. Let's move on. Whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a spicy take. Out of all the things K-pop brings to the table, music is the worst. In my opinion, there's a really bad problem with creativity in the K-pop industry. Too many songs are just generic slop. It feels like it's been pumped straight out of a corporate factory.
I feel like if this is your real opinion about the industry and the music of the industry, I feel kind of bad that you're sticking around just to watch the side content, more or less, right? No, really, no. If you dissect this, and this person says K-pop music, the music sucks. I'm just here because I like to be in a fandom and watch the fan shit. That must feel bad, right?
Dang.
I think K-pop is unique in a way where we have a sense of community. There's a lot of cool fan shit that goes on. It's a cool niche thing to get into. I will admit that. But like, for example, like a big part of what fans do is like stream your song, like stream the latest EP drop or like title track.
That's how they make money.
Yeah,
most
like,
of the time.
if you're not enjoying the music that you listen to, like why are you here, man? Like, okay, that aside, like I genuinely don't think K-pop music is as bad as like this take makes it out to be. Like
they've branched out a lot recently in terms of genres and
I understand that like pop music, K-pop music isn't it's not the most groundbreaking, innovative, creative genre out there. It really isn't. But it's pop music for you, buddy. That's what it is. Like
it kind of feels like the real issue is that maybe this person doesn't like pop music, you know?
Well, K-pop is Korean pop.
It kind of feels like the underlying issue, because I'm sure there's other music that they are into, right?
I guess I also kind of take this take as saying that out of all the things that make up K-pop, right, as a genre, the music itself is the least
right. That's what the take is about.
Interesting, the
right.
least, right?
Okay, Anita. I'm not sure about Anita.
think.
Doug disagrees. I have also openly disagreed with the take. Anita's actually like thinking.
I'm contemplating about it because
yeah. I guess my pop take on this is like maybe they don't like pop music is because a lot of takes we've been seeing is that K-pop is not even K-pop anymore. It's just generic Western pop music, right? So if that's true, then this person just doesn't like pop music, right? I would assume.
Yeah, well,
You got like 5 seconds.
What is Warren doing on the screen? I guess I essentially disagree because I don't think I can separate it and say like, oh, the music is the worst thing of it. Yeah, I guess I don't agree with that take.
The worst thing is the crazy fans. That's my
Oh, that's the take.
Shit. Damn.
The fandom.
Not you calling out.
The worst thing is the extremism in the fandom.
Not you calling us out. Like, all right, let's move on.
I mean, if you're listening at this point, you're the people who just have like, I have an account where I shit on Blackpink. You got to do something else with your life. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, you know, if you're at that point.
Okay, Doug, read our next take, please.
There are too many K-pop groups. There's not enough demand in K-pop to justify all these mid-tier groups. IMO, it's a good thing that they're shutting down so that the industry can go back to a more healthy state that isn't relying on external investors and overpriced tours nobody goes to.
Damn.
Dang.
Damn. You had me in the first half.
They're lucky. Yeah, in the first half, I was like, you're lucky that you weren't around in like Gen 2, dude, when it was even worse, where these Nugu groups can last 7 years, you know, back then. Okay. The first half of this, I can see the point there. I disagree with that. I think the mid tier it's sad that it's going. It's good that they're shutting down so the industry can go back to a more healthy state means we just have like 6 companies, right? Apparently.
I don't know if
I guess isn't reliant on external investors, overpriced tours. I guess it's a thing of supply and demand.
The tour thing I get because it's oversaturated, the tours for sure.
I agree with that. The tour part.
I do think here's what I think, and let me see if I can end up at a conclusion. Ever since third generation became a thing, and you know what, 2.5 generation was a thing. There was a range of companies that got external investors, and they all launched their own little K-pop groups. You know, like everybody doing their little thing, and it's been a thing since like early 2010s. am I impressed by all of these groups? No. Some groups, they exist. I don't know why. I will be honest. It feels like they're directionless. Feels like there is not a lot of creative ambition. It's not like they're selling well. So like some of these mid-tier groups, yes, I you know what? I'm not interested enough to say I justify their existence. Maybe the music doesn't have to be K-pop. Pop music in Korea doesn't have to be idol pop music. But they made that decision of doing K-pop music. And you know what? I respect that. Maybe that sounds a little like condescending. I don't know. I do respect the fact that these artists and these people, these producers, were looking at the likes of Girls' Generation or like SES or like, you know, like Big Bang, and they went, we're creatively inspired to do something similar. You know what I mean? Like, so I think I respect that. I do think right now the supply outweighs demand. That's what I'll say. So
I think it's compounded by the tour situation. I think that's a different take in itself. Yeah. Too many groups are going on tour. I would agree with. Too many groups, and it's better that we're in a healthy state with less small companies. I disagree with that, though.
I disagree with that part too. Because to me, I think reducing it to only big companies, I feel like, I don't know, it starts feeling like monopoly here where...
Yeah, that too.
Let's say we're down to like Hybe, CJ, SM, JYP, YG, Starship, and like that's it, guys, and Cube, right? Let's say we're down to that, bro. I don't think we're having a good time if that's the case, right? And Black Label, what does that throw them into?
If I'm brutally honest about some of these mid-tier K-pop groups, I don't think it's the fact that we have too much supply versus demand. I think it's the fact that some of these folks fail to differentiate one from each other, and because of that, they find a niche audience that is willing to pay money. That's what I think. That, on top of the fact that some of these productions are just too expensive. Like, it's just what it is. Like,
yeah.
K-pop is expensive to make. Makeup, costume, music videos, expensive ass albums like that are not jewel cases. Ban not jewel case albums, guys. Like,
you know, on an intrinsic level, okay, so I just want to gauge your temperature on this. Do you think it's good that companies are deleting groups before 7 years? How do we feel about that? We're like, damn, that's essentially what this is getting at, right? More or less.
To me, I think it makes sense if financially they just can't drag it out, you know? Like, and I feel like when I think of people in these contracts, I think, well, if it's not financially sustainable, they're just ending in debt. Like, I feel like it makes sense to just
here's the problem, though.
Cut their losses.
Okay, so I'm going to make a big stretch here. Major League Baseball is having this issue where there's no salary cap, right? So there's no minimum you have to spend, which is making the sport worse. And similar in K-pop, the fact that there's now not a minimum you got to maintain this group for 7 years is making there be worse groups with shitty people behind them. Because back in the day, groups essentially had to go 7 years or they get a lawsuit. And that was good because it meant there was a minimum investment in each group. But now that we're able to break contracts after a year or two, it's just allowing anyone with like 100K to make a group and ruin these kids' dreams.
I think that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is like the amount of producers or businessmen who are like, that K-pop thing, I heard it could be lucrative. Maybe we give it a go. Obviously, if you do that, it's not like there's gonna be a huge level of research going on, so you don't know what you're fucking doing. Launch this mid-ass group, with like 6 kids who are like dreaming that they could be the next big thing, only to have it shit the bed after like 4 comebacks, and they're like, all right, it's not making money. Bye, guys. Peace. Like, come on. Yeah, that's kind of.
I disagree with this take, but if it was worded, there's too many shitty small K-pop companies, I would agree with that take.
True.
That's really what you know what I mean?
Bad contrast.
If that was the take, if there's shitty people in K-pop, that would be a better take.
This is an interesting take, and I do think there's a lot
This
to
one's
think
great.
about.
This
Yeah,
is a great take. this
supply and
one.
demand.
Especially the tours. That's a whole nother conversation about there's way too many people touring.
Yeah.
And,
Can of
and,
worms.
and they're going about it in such unethical ways. Yeah, the ticketing, here's the announcement of the tour. Ticketing starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. That's a whole
Or
conversation on its own.
companies don't know how
Venues-
popular their artists really are, so
The
they book a
venues
big
don't make
ass.
sense.
They book like
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden Theater, which hosts 4,000 people, and then they sell 800 tickets, and they have to cancel on people. And then the fans then struggle to get the money back after they canceled. There's a card situation going on where they canceled something, and the fans can't get the money back. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. Is that it? Was that our last one?
Oh no, we got a couple more.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh no, I think that's it.
Oh,
Oh,
you lied.
all right. That
Perfect.
was all of our takes, folks. Okay, not gonna lie, there was a whole bunch more takes that we received. I just want to say thank you to everybody that sent your takes. I really appreciate.
Thank you.
Some of these takes, maybe not the best. I still enjoyed reading all of them. Maybe we will revisit some of these hot takes in the near future.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cover some more.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I offended. I probably offended a bunch of people about their small girl groups, but it is what it is, guys. Hey,
Hey.
bye everyone.
Here's Doug crying
Bye-bye.
because he made terrible takes.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye. And here's an extra special shout out to all of our Fiesta Patreons on patreon.com. Bagel, Charles, Cotton Ball, Ellie, Gogu Mama, Honey Pools, Incoming Snail, Liam's Games and Toys, Natalie, NJ Parks, South Texas Once, Siu Sumi. And thank you for joining Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop. Thank you, really.